So in our last class period, we went over general purpose and specific purpose. And for this class period, for this part of the lecture, we'll be reviewing the thesis or the central idea. So going back as a reminder to what our specific purpose, how we define that, what do you have in your notebooks?
General, audience.
Say that again.
Audience.
Okay, so audience was one of the things that we had, which was right over here. What else did we have in a specific purpose?
General purpose.
Okay, the general purpose, which for this first project is what?
To inform
To inform. And then the last thing
is the goal.
is your goal. So you have all of those three things, and we created a specific purpose statement, which wasn't perfect, but it was something, your objective, or what you were going to accomplish, or what you are going to accomplish. So for this, if you're going to use a behavioral objective as your book suggested, that's what you want your audience to be able to do by the end of your presentation. And I mentioned in our last class period, you don't have to write it as a behavioral objective, but you are writing a specific purpose or an objective that incorporates the general purpose to inform, to educate, to enhance the audience's knowledge about something. The audience, the target audience is you, and then the goal is whatever you chose for your topic. So we have a lot of different ideas in here. For our example, I was thinking about castles in Ireland, so I was using that example. Now that we've created a specific purpose statement, and we can still change this, we can still tweak this, but at this point, especially now that we've been reading research on our topics, we're ready to start developing a thesis statement. And a thesis statement and a central idea are interchangeable words, just like specific purpose and objective. So when you see this in the future, you're going to know when somebody says, what's your central idea or what's your thesis, they're asking the same thing. So there's not a difference between the two. So in your book, there should be a definition of a central idea or a thesis statement. Could somebody read that for me?
Definitive point about a topic.
Okay. All right. To make that a little more clear, it's a single declarative statement, or definitive, that summarizes everything about your speech, about your report, about your outline, whatever it is that you're doing. So this is going to be related to your specific purpose, but it is not going to be a specific purpose, because it's not talking about what you're going to accomplish, it's talking about everything that's in this thing that you're developing right now, which is your full content outline. Okay, so now that we know how to, or what this is, let's talk about the different types of thesis statements. In your book, if somebody could read to me an example of a thesis statement that they have developed, then I can move from that point. It may have slightly difference from the addition.
At the end of my speech, the audience will be able to explain 2 reasons foreign language education should begin in the elementary grades.
Okay. Now, that's actually a really good example, showing that you can write a thesis statement in 2 different ways. One is with logical divisions, the other is without logical divisions. Your book's example does not show logical divisions within the central idea. So let's see how that sounds, and then we'll demonstrate how to write both of them. So if you could, Liam, I'm going to have you since you're close to the microphone there, will you read now the central idea for this?
Okay. Foreign language education should begin in the elementary grades.
Okay, so the linkage between the two, you can see, bless you, the linkage you can see between the two. So at the end of my speech, the audience will be able to explain, that's their behavioral objective, 2 reasons foreign language education should begin in elementary grades. So what we're expecting is this thesis statement now to be a single declarative statement that explains everything that's coming related to this. Now, there's two ways to do this. Your books just states this, foreign language education should begin in elementary grades. Everything within your outline needs to be now related to that thing. And it should also be the reasons why foreign education needs to be in the elementary school systems. That's what we're expecting after seeing these two. The thesis statement is different from the specific purpose statement because it's just declaring the thing, where this one is very audience-centered. The objective is considering you as an audience. It has, I'm going to, you are. When we come over here, that's all removed. It's actually a sterile, boring, single declarative statement that talks about what's in there. And I'm not saying that it's literally boring, but comparatively to, this is touchy-feely. Okay? This is stating the thing. Now, I mentioned there's a couple different ways you can write a thesis statement. When we looked at this, of course, this is fine. The way your book wrote this is fine. But when you look at this specific purpose statement, it says that there's going to be two things it's going to talk about. And if you've taken English 1010 here, your English instructors may have said, if I see this thing that says you're going to talk about two things, you better list them in the thesis statements. How many of you learned how to write your thesis statement like that? Okay, absolutely. And that's right. So you can say, for example, the two reasons foreign education should be in elementary schools are, first, give me an idea why they should be in elementary schools.
They're able to adapt easier.
Okay, children are able to adapt easier in learning new languages. And next.
That's more helpful for like later on in life if you're bilingual.
Okay, so here we have two ideas, and writing this in your thesis statement is also correct. So you're staying very focused. It's still related to your specific purpose, and this will actually help format your organization when you start developing your outline. So you can write this in either way, but if you do write it in logical divisions, as we've just demonstrated outside of your book, then I am going to be specifically looking in that order. If you're saying that it's easier for kids to adapt, I expect that to be the first thing I see to be a main point. And the second thing was that it's easier for in the future for children as they grow up. I expect that to be the second main point. So there'll be different expectations depending on how you write this thesis statement. Same rules apply for your thesis statements. Not vague, has to be specific enough, no figurative language. That's how you do it. Are there any questions?